Oh, the kitty has a bow tie. Is that Lynette? With a little kitty? Oh,
Meow.
meow. Uh, I don't. I honestly just wanna wait till she finishes doing business, but okay, sure. What are you up to? Oh, sorry.
It's you. 1 second. Now activating chat mode. It
Hello.
made me jump there. I thought they'd finally caught me.
Made you jump? Barely did you
Well,
notice.
my heart rate did. Jumped up a little, I mean.
So, what kind of trouble are you in exactly?
Objectively speaking, the trouble was entirely of my own making. Half an hour ago, I was at Hotel de Boer for a drinks reception. It was to celebrate the successful opening of a show, but it was draining my energy. So, I waited for the right moment, then snuck away so I could switch to standby mode.
I see. So they sent someone to find you and bring you back. But why?
Um, Probably because I'm playing the lead role in the show?
Uh, the lead role?
Is that so surprising? I'm always getting invitations to do solo performances.
I know that.
I just usually get Linny to write back and turn them down.
Yeah, I know that,
But
but why?
then came the Fontanalia Film Festival. We took all the kids from the House of the Hearth out to see a film, and after it finished, they all started clamoring for me to try out acting for some reason. Even Linny was chanting along with them. Anyway, it just so happened that a director called Mary who had sent me an invitation right around then. I'll spare you the details, but basically, I ended up accepting it.
So this is the dramatic debut of a magician's puppet, huh?
Yep, you nailed it. I'm playing the role of a puppet.
I love these fingers up. Very similar, not really expressing physically that much. So something simple like just keeping the face straight and just turn thumbs up. It's expressive. It's like our maximum expression. Let's say.
In fact, the show's called The Lost Puppet, and it's a masked mime show. So I don't have to do any facial expressions or say any lines. Literally just a series of physical movements. The director says it's a very avant-garde art form.
Avant-garde. That sounds pretty avant-garde. Can people understand the plot of avant-garde?
Art is not comprehended by the mind, but felt in the heart. At least, that's what the director says. Anyway, if nothing else, the opening performance seemed to go down well. At the drinks reception, everyone was crowding around me, saying, "Triumphant character portrayal, faithful adaptation of the original work, unequivocally, quintessentially avant-garde," and stuff like that. But being the center of attention is draining. So the moment they left me to go harass the director instead, I was out of there.
For once you were able to use Lily as a human, Sheila, yeah?
The other thing is, some weird things happened while I was on the stage.
This cat? Oh, he's so precious.
Oh, sorry, Bonnie.
Bonnie!
I didn't mean to leave you out of the conversation.
Whoa! Whoa, is that Bonnie, the Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's? I take it Bonnie's your pet cat. No, it's not yours. It's not her
Well,
pet.
we just met. We bumped into each other right after I slipped away.
And you already named her?
Well, it'd be kind of difficult for us to communicate otherwise. Besides, I think she's taken a liking to the name. Haven't you, Bonnie?
Oh,
Yeah,
likey.
that's right. Good kitty. We'll go find your owner soon, I promise.
Honor? Not a stray cat then. I think you should have real life because of the bow tie.
Nope. She's wearing a collar, and for the most part, she's pretty well groomed. If she is a stray, she hasn't been for long. Her stomach's been growling a lot. I guess she must have been missing for a few days now. As much as I'd love to hang out with her for a while longer, her owner's probably worried sick about her. Assuming she has an owner, that is. But the reception... I should probably show my face there again at some point, even if it's just to make excuses and leave again. Decision time.
So this is for you, huh?
Well, I just find it exhausting. thinking through all the different ramifications of different choices and so on. That's more Lenny's area than mine. Unless it's something really important, I usually just leave the decision making to him.
You really need to learn to transport yourself. Well, for once, he's not here. Where you need him. But that doesn't happen often.
It's fine. He got Freminate me a little something for just this situation. Poof!
No.
Phaetometer.
Phaetometer? What? What the hell is this?
I know, but it's essentially just a box of cards. He kept the design simple, so it'd be harder to break.
Oh yeah, she breaks electronic for some reason.
I pick a card at random, then look at the number on the card.
And that's how you help you to make decisions. It's kind of like the Yelan's dice. See, for those who don't know, Yelan makes decisions using her dice.
Well, for example, if the number on the card is 5 or higher, I help Bonnie find her owner. If it's less than 5, I go back to the reception.
Simple and straightforward, kind of like Yelan's
I
dice.
just have to believe in the bond between me and my cards, and my fate will reveal itself to me in numerical form. At least, that's what Lenny said. Anyway, I guess I'll give you a demonstration.
Okay. Oh, Bonnie. Bonnie the bunny.
I didn't like that. Was I using it wrong? Maybe if I just...
She break it? Let me sure. In Mexican box and blah, okay.
Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out. I'll have to let Fremine know.
Something tells me that you break it. You broke it. I feel like maybe this wasn't a design issue.
See, which card did I get? 4.
Less than 5, so that means no helping Bonnie.
Well, the cards fell on the ground though, so I don't think it counts as fate. If you want to get the right answer, you have to let fate decide. Also something Lenny said. So, to put it another way, if picking a card up off the ground is how to not leave it to fate, then that means it must be the wrong answer.
I think what Lini really meant is sometimes you have to accept the answer you didn't want.
Or... why don't you pick a card? Since I ran into you here, that means...
Okay, there's these decisions.
Are, like, interfering with each other.
You should leave the rest of the destiny to Lini. I mean, we're not going to see Lini right now. I would prefer that she just accept, but okay, sure, I will pick for you.
Thank you. This one is final, I promise. Here, take the Phaetometer. If it's 5
You're
or
so
above,
cute.
that means fate successfully changed. Anything lower than 5 is a fail. Also, if you have your own thoughts about what I should do, feel free to share it. Now that I've got a good problem solver here to help, I don't need to run every little thing by fate.
Okay, so we can just go crazy, go stupid with the Phaetometer, or just... How about you do neither? Okay, so there's a lot of branches here. So there's 3. Just, yeah, back for reception, or just help Bonnie, or just... No, nothing of those. Or just, I don't know. Let the player let the game choose for you. Honestly, I'll just use Bonnie. I mean, I like kitties, and cats deserve return to their owners. Oh yeah, what you usually do is like, shut up!
So, we're looking for Bonnie's owner?
See? She wants to see her owner. So how do you plan to find Bonnie's owner?
I think I'll go to the Steambird and see about putting an ad in the paper. You wanna come along?
Sure.
I think...
Yes, she likes me. Sure, if it means I get to hang out with you for a bit longer. Traveler? What? Sure, if it means I get to hang out with you for a bit longer. So you just want to hang out with Lynette, and the cat doesn't really matter, or what? Oh, for you gatito. Ay, ay, qué bonito gatito. The kid is so cute. Ay, bonito gatito. Alright, I forgot how you're supposed to pronounce your name, or what's your name even? A Fressy. I remember now.
Independence Day starts with a Steambird. Oh, hi Lynette. Hi Traveler. What can I help you with?
I thought you would say every stupid day. We want to ask of the latest sales of Humanity Column. Well, any commissions in there about a missing cat?
I don't think so. Have you picked up a stray?
Yep. If there's no commission to follow up on, could we post a notice about the missing cat instead?
Why, of course. What a kind thing to do. Just fill out the form.
Oh, maybe was what they had to increase the graphics.
Well, we've registered you as missing. You can stay at my place until your owner finds you.
Does want her to go?
Also, I just wanted to say thanks for keeping us company for so long.
No problem.
Well, I should probably head back to the drinks reception. Hopefully most of the people have left by now. If you've got some time, you should stop by my place tomorrow to see Bonnie. There's a nice cup of tea in it for you.
Oh, looking forward to
Alright.
it.
See you then.
Bye. That's so precious. I love her.
I
I don't know.
believe this cat belongs to me.
I already told you, this isn't your cat.
Oh, God, fucking.
Just take a breather, you two.
What the hell is going
You're
on?
here. As you can probably see, you'll have to take a rain check on that tea I promised you. At least for now.
Don't worry.
This is my friend's cat. He's preoccupied with some important business, so I came to retrieve her in his stead.
Yeah, that's a little bit sus. Huh? Passive checks are a special type of checks that need not to be actively triggered, but instead will automatically trigger at a specific time. If you pass, you will find some hidden information such as irregularities in the person's attitude and certain incongruous details. Okay, but one example is Catherine. This seems a bit unnatural. Yes, I noticed that. Even her voice was a little bit unnatural. The way she speaks in loud, authoritative, it's like she's deliberately using her tone of voice to dispel any doubts of her integrity.
No, it's far more likely this cat escaped from the Humane Society.
What about we let Bonnie decide?
Bonnie?
That's the name I've given her in the meantime.
Animal. What? So it's just random? And animal handling. Let's see who Bonnie decides to approach. Wait, what? Is this a video game? The random checks triggered by Fatometer often serves indicators for destiny cards for the success or failure of an action. Press the draw card and get a random number between 120. If some number display is greater or equal to check difficulty, you will pass this check and otherwise you'll fail. Adequate preparation and friendly aid can sometimes afford a result of this. Your correct check bonuses will be blah blah blah. Okay. So I don't know. This one. 14. What does 14 mean for you, Bonnie? For example, he runs up and begins to whip through your legs. What?
This complicates things.
What? This is she quite likes me.
I told you before. This is my friend's cat. It's normal for her not to trust me.
Listen, I'm the director of the Humane Society, okay? We've got so many strays, dogs, cats, you name it. I'm not even the one feeding them most of the time. You can hardly expect the cat to recognize me.
Then how are you sure he belongs to you?
Just looked somewhat familiar, so I came to check, just in case. If she turns out to be one of ours, I'll take her back. Simple as that. Even if that's not the case, the Humane Society could still take her in, if no one else comes to claim her, that is.
What's a Humane Society?
We're an organization that specializes in
I
rescuing
mean,
and sheltering
I
stray
did. I was
animals.
with this.
We've been in
Oh, well.
business for several decades now. I'm Bernard, the current director.
The Humane Society. Huh. The name sounds familiar. I remember hearing good things. You're the one in the Quartier Lyonnais?
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, if it's not too much trouble, could I possibly take a closer look at the cat? If it turns out I really am mistaken, I suppose that means the cat belongs to this lady here. She would be the only remaining option after all.
It belongs to my friend.
She just well, at least let him check. Doesn't look to be have foundations. He has well. We use brute force. With us here to keep watch, it should be fine.
Bunny?
Bunny, the bunny. It doesn't sound happy.
Oh, nope. Looks like I was mistaken. They do look similar, but there's an ever so slight difference in this one's fur color. Deepest apologies, friends. Well, I suppose this means I still have a missing cat to search for. Apologies again for the confusion.
So this is your friend's cat.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Wait a second. You lied earlier, didn't you?
Lied? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
What
A
the?
liar always has a tell. The look in their eyes, their breathing pattern, the way they hold themselves. The things that can give you away are often more numerous than you would think.
What are you talking about? The way I see it, you're conflating baseless conjecture with fact.
Normally, when someone is called out, their breathing speeds up as they begin to panic. But your breathing pattern hasn't changed one bit. In fact, it's been strangely calm and measured this entire time. It stands to reason, then, that your agitated behavior earlier was all an act. If you're a bad guy, I'm sure you'll take off running the first chance you get. If you're a good guy, the most likely explanation is that you're a member of the Guards, or some similar organization.
And you're basing this off of?
Intuition. Nothing more.
Intuition. Well, I have to hand it to you, Lynette. You're right. I'm a member of the Guards. The name's Elodie. I'm currently investigating a cross-border smuggling case. This cat here, Bonnie, was her name? Well, her owner is one of the prime suspects of our investigation. A
What?
couple of days ago, our suspect got wind that we were on his tail and fled. That's most likely how he got separated from the cat. I just so happened to stumble upon your notice in the Steambird, so I decided to see if he'd come back for her. But it looks like I overestimated him.
If I were on the road, I don't think I'd go back either.
The impact of this case has been huge. The Marechaussee Phantom, the Guards, and the Special Patrol have all launched investigations. If there was even the slightest chance that he would show himself, I had to follow up on the lead.
Dude, how crazy this case is to have to call a whole group of different groups of security patrol agency or that stuff.
Imitation synth.
Oh, sit again!
All the synth on the market, but addiction isn't something that goes away overnight. Even without substances on the market, people are still looking for a way to get their next fix.
You know, like methamphetamine, like with Walter White, the blue, and post greater invitations. Like, wow.
And criminals are all too eager to addiction. That was the impetus for imitation synth. Needless to say, a small-scale market opened up very quickly. After the original synth debacle, we put several measures into place to prevent similar incidents from occurring. The perpetrators got smart, though, and shifted their sales overseas before those measures could kick in. That's when the imitation synth smuggling began. We only recently got word of the presence of imitation synth overseas. We managed to track down evidence of some early transactions. What we were able to find out, however, hasn't proven that useful given the amount of time that has passed. The Marechaussee Phantom launched an investigation to track down every person in Fontaine capable of producing a drug like that. That's how we learned about Bonnie's owner.
Who is he exactly?
Researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute.
Pierre.
Pierre Lafayette, to be exact.
Didn't we met someone called Pierre before?
Favor.
The Marechaussee Phantom found him in Poisson. In addition to the cat, he also had a pendant with him.
Huh. I don't think there's a lot to get from here, at least not
At
now.
first, there wasn't much cause for suspicion.
Sus!
Search of his house didn't reveal much to go off of either. The Marechaussee Phantom very nearly left it at that. It was only later that we realized the coat of arms on his pendant belonged to none other than the Lafayette family, one of the most infamous aristocratic families in Fontaine.
Oh boy.
Obviously, this discovery prompted a further investigation into Pierre. At that point, however, we discovered that he'd already fled. Now the Guards and the Special Patrol are all searching for him.
Could his family be hiding
It's
him?
not possible, actually. The Lefebvre family has been gone for a long time.
Exactly. Many years ago, several important members of the family, including the Patriarch, were murdered by an assassin of unknown origin.
Oh, wait.
Going on, family's power and influence took quite the hit.
Are you? Okay. Are you telling me that, considering how Lynette reacted, is this the family that... I mean, it could be the one that... You know how in the first, the Archon quest, in the second act, we learned that about how Lynn and Lynette lived in the streets and they were doing magic to survive. Then they got adopted by just a form of son of a bitch. And this dude sold Lynette to someone else, and however, Arlequino appeared in time to save her and all the children. Is these guys? I don't know. Is they are the ones that brought Lynette, or the ones who sold Lynette? Are those the same?
The family is engaged in all manner of crimes. As you can imagine, there's no shortage of people waiting in the wings to take their revenge. And with the family severely weakened, they were able to do just that. Most of the remaining family members succumbed to sickness or hunger. The ones that survived are currently living out their days under a new identity. Pierre is one of those very survivors. He's been hiding away in the Fontaine Research Institute all these years. His true identity unbeknownst to all. Until now, that is.
It's really okay to share all this information with us. I was thinking about it earlier.
Well, my fellow guards have told me all about how smart and courageous you both are. And I know you possess a strong sense of justice. There could be a chance that
Yeah, it's just...
one of his accomplices might attempt to get close to Bonnie. Now that you've been briefed on the situation, I was hoping you'd help us keep a lookout.
Then why did you just not tell us that before? For the cat? Yeah, exactly. Why?
If I take Bonnie back to the guards with me, there's no way Pierre will try and come for her. Not even the most daring of criminals would attempt something like that.
Oh, so we should keep Bonnie with us for the time being?
I have to admit, I'm not holding out too much hope that Pierre will come back for her. But if there's even the slightest chance, then it's worth a shot. Well, I've got some other leads to follow up on. If Pierre does appear, please contact me right away.
How does he look? Ah, well, goodbye then. You don't look so good, Lina.
It's nothing. I'm fine.
Nah, no, you're
It's
not.
just the head of the Lefebvre family. He was the eminent person who kidnapped me all those years ago. It
Yes.
was a dinner party.
Yeah.
Someone tricked me into boarding the Lefebvre family carriage. Whoever it was, they took me back to their home.
Yes, it is.
Before anything worse could happen, Father intervened.
Oh boy, it is. The assassin that Lodi mentioned.
Father was the one who orchestrated the fall of the Lefebvre family. That's what led Lenny and I to join the House of the Hearth. After all these years. I never thought I'd hear the Lefebvre name again.
You okay? Yeah, one is worried for you too.
Don't worry about me. I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. I was just thinking about Lenny. He's been acting strange recently.
Huh?
He avoids me for days on end, consumes himself with some secret investigation, and then out of the blue pushes me to do that acting job. Thinking about it now, it's almost like the one I drew from that deck of cards was part of his plan all along. He must have asked Fremine to help him out. In any case, I know he's hiding something from me. He's really pulled out all the stops this time.
Do you think he knows about Pierre?
It's very possible. I'm sure he tried to send me away because he was afraid it would bring up some painful memories for me. It wasn't necessary, though. Even after all these years, he's still as overprotective as ever. You'll have to help me teach him a lesson if we run into him along the way.
Oh no! Wait! Are we going somewhere?
I want to head to the Fontaine Research Institute to learn more information about Pierre. Just let me activate search mode and then we'll head out. Who knows? Maybe we'll run into Lenny along the way.
I'm trying to help out with his
A
investigation.
little bit of both, perhaps.
And the other one, but I'm
For
gonna
the
read it.
most part, though, I just have the sense that something's not right. Something isn't adding up about Pierre's story. I'm just not sure what.
I also want to know what secrets he's hiding. Sometimes you just got to take the bull by the horse, right? Okay. I also want to know what he's hiding. I'm just
I'll write a letter explaining everything to the crew. Once that's done, we can head out.
Then that was crazy. I was expecting his account to be connected to a traumatic event. Oh, wait, why can I just place it? Wait, really? I have my own Yelan dice. Holy shit! I mean, it's not a Yelan dice, which I think is better than the. I don't know why I love the Yelan's dice. Probably because she does cool poses with it, but I wasn't expecting to have more on. Oh hey, hello Lily, por also chéveres.
Lynette, you're, not at rehearsal?
You can drop the act, brother. In fact, I don't think either of us will have a need for acting anytime soon. You should know better than to try and keep something from me. You've never been able to do that, even when we were kids.
And that's why I tried to distract you with the masked mime show. But I guess you're just too good.
Better than you.
Introduce us to your new assistant.
And that's chéveres.
This is Officer Shovras, captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. You may have met her already.
We meet again.
See you.
Hello chéveres.
I should clarify something. Mr. Linney's here at my invitation, not the other way around. To borrow your expression, Miss Lynette, I suppose that would make him my assistant more than anything. We've brought on Mr. Linney as a consultant in the past. He was instrumental in helping us crack a case involving a perpetrator who used magic tricks to commit crimes.
Holy shit.
I was hoping he'd be able to provide some valuable insight this time around as well.
Oh yeah, I think we saw something similar in Lini's quest. Are you here because of Lefer? Oh god, I forgot how to pronounce it. Case?
So you've heard everything then?
And not because of this little guy.
That's exactly why we're here. There's always been questions surrounding the fall of the Lefebvre family.
Lefebvre.
Some people even believe the House of the Hearth was involved. Whoever was behind it all was extremely cautious. They didn't leave a shred of evidence. This very fact, however, leads me to believe it was indeed the work of that harbinger. I took a look at the entrance and exit records of all the carriages that night. Let's just say it wasn't hard to deduce that there's ill will between you two.
Wait, wait. How old you are? Because I took a look at the entrance to the exit records. Records. Okay, never mind. I don't like. Wait, you've been here? Like you're supposed to be small. Like at least a little bit older than Lady Lynette. Like what?
Don't worry, I don't have any evidence to that effect, and I certainly don't plan on going to bat for such a despicable family. Plus, you were victims back then more than anything. I sought Mr. Linney's help with the smuggling case. Nothing more.
You're really teaming up with the House of Hearts?
The way I look at it, it's a collaboration between us as people, not the organizations we represent.
Okay, that's fair.
Besides, by working together, we can expose the truth as quickly as possible. You can hardly say that's at odds with the justice my organization strives for.
I'm assuming you will be opposed to some extra help. That opposes me.
Not at all. I was planning to invite you from the very beginning, Miss Lynette. It's just that my assistant here raised some objections.
Ah, vaya.
Linny.
Well,
The same person I was back then.
well. What do you think, Hawks, from the background? Dumb. They go everywhere. Alright, thank you.
That little girl who did nothing but cower in the corner in fear. She doesn't need saving anymore.
You want to protect your little sister, technically they're the same age. But little sisters don't stay little forever.
I'm sorry, Lynette. You're right. I let my concerns get the better of me.
I mean, it's understandable. Some traumas cannot be easily defeated. Like, maybe just hearing that can just trigger something and worry, they get stressed. But it's good to know that Lynette was able to move and get stronger with it. Probably she hasn't fully moved on, but at least she's strong enough now to be able to deal with it.
Oh, and the next time you want to distract me, you should try a different approach.
Bonnie like, yeah, you suck.
You pick up a stray while I was gone?
It's a bit complicated. I'll explain later. Anyway, her name's Bonnie.
We should tell her that she's the reason why we know this.
Well, if there are no objections, then I suppose the only thing left to say is... Lynette, Traveler, welcome to the team.
Thank you, Sheriff. Here is a leading share with you what I learned for the past few days.
The Lafayette family was very particular in their use of insignias and emblems. The family would use different emblems to mark differences in status, blood relation, and the like. In fact, the insignia that was discovered on the pendant was used to represent an illegitimate child.
So what does that mean? Jiren is a bastard child?
It's highly likely. That very status might have been what allowed him to emerge from the fall of his family relatively unscathed. It would also explain why he was able to assume a new identity as a researcher with relative ease.
We discovered something interesting, though. After talking to some of his co-workers, it appears he pretty much works at the Institute in name only. He's practically been cast out.
What?
Apparently, Pierre was once addicted to synth. He tried to use the resources at the Institute to create a substance with a similar effect. He claimed it was just for research purposes, but the Institute revoked his access to the relevant materials regardless. He was placed on disciplinary leave, pending a thorough investigation of his actions. But
Then he
it
sucks.
seems the Institute ran into some trouble along the way. Could have been a lack of personnel or a timing issue. In any case, they had to table their formal investigation into Pierre. Unfortunately, that also included reporting any relevant information to the higher authorities. As for his family background, it appears none of his co-workers at the Institute were aware of that information. All they could tell us was that he was quite the recluse.
Maybe we'll have to take investigation elsewhere then. Did you find anything useful at his residence?
Other than the pendant, we didn't find anything else of note at his residence in Poisson.
What about the
Based on
kitty?
the samples of imitation synth we've been able to analyze, it appears the substance leaves behind strong traces wherever it's produced or stored. Those traces might not be obvious to the casual observer, but they're not something our guard poodles would miss. Pierre's home, though, came up completely clean. We didn't find any records indicating possible involvement in overseas transactions either. So, the Marechaussee Phantom didn't view him as a major suspect at first.
Maybe he had a separate, dedicated area where he made the imitation synth.
Well, his neighbors did say he was often gone for long stretches of time. You would think with him out and about so much, people would have spotted him around Poisson, but residents said they barely ever saw him in town. If his reclusive nature was just a matter of keeping a low profile, I guess it would make sense for him to have a secret base to carry out his business.
After he disappeared, the guards conducted a thorough search of Poisson, but they didn't come across any suspicious locations.
Poisson.
What is it,
You
Lynette?
know Hotel de Boer, where I first found Bonnie?
Yeah?
To get there from Poisson, you have to cross a stretch of ocean. It's not somewhere a cat could just wander off on its own.
Oh yeah.
Cat? You mean...
Wait, you didn't know this, Jiren? Oh, of course not. Yeah, you right now realize you stupid guard.
Bonnie is Pierre's cat.
Oh, that's right! When the Marechaussee Phantom first tracked him down, I remember there being something about a cat in their report. So this is her?
Yeah, we learned all about this because of this
From
cat.
what we've learned about Pierre's habits, he doesn't seem like the type to venture out without a purpose. So what you're saying, Lynette, is that Bonnie couldn't have gone missing in Poisson. If that's true, then...
She must have wandered off only after Pierre brought her to the secret base.
Exactly. Bonnie
Wow.
might know where it is.
Wait, you think the cat can lead us there? But she's not trained like one of our guard poodles. How is she supposed to understand what we want her to do?
Fortnite balls. Lynette will give it a try.
Meow. Meow meow.
How cute. Bonnie seems to understand what we're wanting to do. She flicks it. Okay, it wasn't.
Near the coast, the beach, and beneath the cliffs. The place we're looking for is most likely north of the Court of Fontaine.
I've certainly never taken a witness statement like this before.
Well, if it works out, maybe it's something worth getting used to.
Cats and humans are actually pretty alike. When it comes to communication, most of what we want to convey can be accomplished through body language alone. But humans tend to rely too much on speech to ever take advantage of that fact. Of course, body language has its limitations. You're not going to be able to get across anything too complicated.
Blah, blah,
Thing is that
blah.
we now have a lead. Let's try and find a place that matches the clues Bonnie gave us.
What happened, Bonnie?
Seems like Bonnie is trying to take us somewhere.
But human
Do,
life
do,
is like
do,
the
do,
dew
do,
at
do,
dawn,
do, do.
or a bubble
Do, do, do.
rising through water. Transit.
Gardemex ahead!
Look out!
Nah, just, you know what? There's so much shady. Yeah, I love using right this burst.
Found this place so easily. If I thought there was any chance you'd say yes, I'd recruit you into the special patrol here and now. No questions asked.
Mainly because of a cat. That is mainly more cat works, but yeah, Lina needs something.
Sounds familiar. I pretty much receive letters daily from people trying to poach her from me.
Let's just focus on our search. There's a lot to investigate.
Alright, so we have I don't know. I wanted to make a joke about something, but it just
as we thought.
disappeared in my head.
This is where the imitation synth was being made.
Makeup. Oh yes, they drink makeup from here. These bottles and jars, they're all imitation synth.
Looks like he's got more than just imitation synth stashed around here. In addition to the raw materials needed to synthesize the substance itself, there's a large quantity of cleaning agents and a few drugs I haven't been able to identify.
They all do the bugs me from these quests, like why is it in open air? Like why why is it like hidden between mountains or something like that? This is just very exposed.
These cleaning agents are likely used to dispel traces of the substance, like its smell. The Special Patrol did some digging into imitation synth. Our records indicate that it's very difficult for ordinary people to detect traces left behind by the stuff. I'm sure that was the case for Pierre as well. It must have taken a considerable amount of time and skill to ensure all those traces get washed away. But what are these other drugs for?
Fortnite drugs.
The material these bags are made of.
Oh, polvito
It's
mágico.
quite rare.
It also looks like the material used for your magic pockets. Does?
It's the very same, actually. Romaritime flower fiber. But there's something special about the composition of these bags. I took a closer look, and it appears they're not only waterproof, but also corrosion and leak resistant. Even the strings look specially designed to keep the bags closed nice and tight. I came across some bags made of the same material just now, but they were much smaller and thinner. From the look of them, they seemed far less durable as well.
So, kind of like one of those small seal bags?
Very similar, actually. Normally, it would be easy for a guard poodle to sniff out the imitation synth, but if it was sealed away in a bag like that, it might be possible to elude detection for some time.
Oh, wow.
What could these big bags be for then? If the goal is to keep the imitation synth hidden and sealed away, these bags seem a bit too conspicuous.
The barrels. You just see like the barrels, so cute.
When the Marechaussee Phantom searched Pierre's house, there was no sign of these barrels, right?
Oh wow, they really need to put all these texts in this just option. He must move away them, but carrying them all the way down here would attract way too much attention.
You're right. That doesn't seem like his way of doing things. How did he get them here then?
Examine the barrels. Well, no, you shouldn't do it, but just let us help with the investigation. But this barrel is very comfortable. So it's not like you want to protect your owner, you just like to be still in the barrel. You never had a cat? Yes? Then you should know it. The barrel shows signs of water damage, dry up, water stains, the chemistry around this. There seems to be a part of the location of water stains. For some reason, they appear to be limited to the lower half of the barrel. The lids doesn't seem very tight, leaving sizable gaps around the edges, but there doesn't appear to be any traces of water inside those
Only
barrels.
the lower halves of the barrels appear to have been submerged in water.
Water.
Based on the various ingredients we've found, this appears to be where Pierre was cooking up his imitation synth. It looks like he used a special cleaning agent to get rid of any residual traces of the substance on his person before he left. That's how he was able to get past the guard poodles.
That's why the malicious Phantom didn't find anything sus in his
So
home.
then he transferred the imitation synth into small sealed bags and took it somewhere else for the drop-off.
No. I don't believe our suspect is the kind of person who'd go around carrying incriminating evidence with him. That would potentially create too many eyewitnesses. The cleaning agent and the sealed bags might get past the guard poodles. But if a member of the public or even a guard on patrol happened to see him during the drop-off, a quick search would reveal everything. That's still a very risky operation.
What about if the drop-off happened at sea? There'd be no more around to see him.
The barrels we found were wet around the base, but the top half was dry. As if they'd been standing upright in the water.
Ah.
If you put a barrel in the water, it will normally float on its side. Unless it's heavily loaded, in which case it'll sink.
So he must use something too tight to seal big bags full of air, turning them into airtight flotation devices.
With flotation rings around the body of the barrels, they'd stay upright in the water. And then he could afford to load them more fully.
Amigo.
Floating barrels? I suppose if he acted at night, when there are very few other boats around and visibility is low, it's a valid theory. We can't rule it out.
But then, wouldn't the barrels be carried off by the waves or the currents? How would the person doing the pickup know where to look?
Being honest, Fontaine's Waters looks to be very chill. So, I don't know, I don't think will be that much of an issue. Barrels that could float away and get lost at the sea sound like difficult to keep one place. Kind of like certain pets. Hey, you don't know que ver. I have nothing to do with this. Wait, what?
Traveler, can you come take a dip in the sea with me?
I
I have a feeling that somewhere down there, we might find some rope. If a rope can be used to keep a pet from running away, then why not a barrel?
mean, sure. I sometimes forget that the Fontaine's Water you could just submerge in the waters and tuck underwater.
I
I
can't
don't know
believe
why.
how much progress we're making with this investigation. Without your help, getting this far would have taken me an awful lot of time and manpower.
I still find it funny how the Saint fabrication is in the middle of no, not even nowhere. Like you have the institution reaches in there. I mean, sure, probably it's not a concurrent area, but like the Court of Fontaine's not really that far from here, so if they just search by boats, they might find this. Like let's investigate this, and they will get something. And probably they won't find a lot of clues. Ay, kiwi, gatito. I really find it funny how you can talk underwater, but the character during you play during the gameplay of underwater, you never talk. It just says I didn't do anything.
Time to go up and report.
There's a rope in here. That boil. Rope? Bombs? You want it? It's all yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rupees. Sorry, Link, I can't give credit. Go back with your little richer. Hey, we're back.
As expected, we found a few pieces of
Shield
rope
cat.
and some anchoring stones underwater. If you attach them to a floating barrel, it would look like this. With this
Okay.
anchoring system, it would be possible to use floating barrels for the drop-off. You would just need to drop them in the water at the agreed-upon location. We also came across the wreckage of a small boat. It must have been left
what?
out on the water and
I didn't see that.
because of the wind and waves. Its small size, however, would have made it perfect for staying undetected.
Let's talk this through. Based on the evidence we've collected, it seems like Pierre would row a small boat out to the agreed-upon transfer point, drop off the barrels, leave, and then row back and retrieve them after the transfer was complete.
Why use such a completely drop-off method? Wouldn't it be easier for both parties to meet up the transfer point? I think it's just because he wanted to hide his identity.
could be that he was trying to avoid meeting up with his associate face to face. As
Yeah,
one of the
makes
sole
sense.
survivors of the Lefebvre family, maybe he was just used to that sort of elusive lifestyle.
It seems like Pierre deliberately chose the floating barrel method so that the goods could be dropped off and picked up at separate times. That way, the two parties wouldn't have to meet each other.
Well, if that's the case, they must not have a very close working relationship.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. Assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. It's possible they were just trying to keep a low profile. Two boats sailing to the same location at once could be too conspicuous. The
It
most
sounds
important
good,
thing is that
sorry.
we can now confirm Pierre wasn't acting alone. The floating barrel drop-off system is proof enough of that. Let's say for now that he was only in charge of producing the imitation synth. That would mean there has to be at least one other person involved in the operation, likely in charge of transporting the goods across the border.
That explains why we couldn't find evidence linking him to any overseas
Since
operations.
we've determined that the goods were transported by boat, maybe we can track down some travel logs or something.
We can certainly check the various ports for that information. It's possible, however, that Pierre's associate also used a small boat for the transport, and docked along the shore rather than at a large port.
Makes
If
sense.
that's the case, it's unlikely there would be any record left behind.
Have you looked into ports already?
Absolutely.
Of course, it
Before
will
Pierre
did.
disappeared, we made sure to investigate all sorts of outward-bound vessels. We also had port authorities keep a lookout for anything suspicious. Unfortunately, we were never able to find out how they managed to get the imitation synth across the border.
I think the only way to get up and down of Fontaine is by sports. Because of the special conditions, the special terrain conditions of Fontaine. A small boat and a few barrels is going to get you very far.
Right. Whatever vessel was used for the pickup, the person responsible for smuggling the substance out of Fontaine would have had to use a larger vessel for the actual transport. That's the only way they would be able to smuggle on a large enough scale to make a profit. They must have found a way to disguise the imitation synth to clear port inspections.
Well, if we can't find any travel logs, we can still search for other clues.
Exactly. We can't let any opportunities slip through the cracks. Although, given the amount of ports that could be involved, we should probably split up.
I'll run home and ask some of my brothers and sisters to try and dig up some information.
I should also head back and update my platoon on our progress. I'll grab some reinforcements while I'm at it. Lynette, Traveler, why don't you head to Lumine's
Yay!
Harbor and see what you can find out?
Alright.
I like Lumido's sport.
Come on, Bonnie. You too.
No quiero. I love Lumido's sport. Not mainly because of the music, but also because I was able to break out of bounds of Fontaine before the new areas got added, so I was able to explore the tower here before, the Lumido's harbor, the institution. The cubes were visible, but they didn't have hitboxes or not any mechanics. Some of the buildings. The only thing that I found sad I did not explore was under the water here, because if you could see like a little clue about the Fortress of Beru Pit, that would be so cool. I didn't do that. And Luminous I think is the most special one because I did cross Luminous. I think it was for here from Mondstadt, from starting with Sumter Layer all the way walking to the Luminous port. Like literally walking under the map, clipping all the stuff. I had a lot of fun with it. I don't know if that glitch is still working. It requires to use the we see one of the Statue of the Seven and doing like a opening the menu characters, opening in the map through going to an artifact or any kind of weapon leveling or material leveling. It was a weird glitch, but I loved doing it. It got patched. Technically it got patched, but it could still be replicated. It just were extra steps to be able to do it.
Traveler.
Ellie!
And Bonnie, too. What brings you all here?
Did something happen?
We are here to check the travel logs. He updated the situation.
Oh. I see. Thank you for everything you're doing for the people of Fontaine.
What have you been doing here? Probably the same reason.
I'm in charge of guarding the port.
Ah, sure.
You mentioned you were after some travel logs, right? I can go fetch those for you.
Okay.
Looks like I've got another hard day of work ahead of me.
What, you're the middle scene, the means? then she goes that the coffee is a little bit beta, or no, the tea is getting a little bit beta, and I make fun of her because why not?
No,
I
not
just this is
really.
acting like that something
It's this
something.
incident that happened recently. Before that, everything was normal. All we had to do was confiscate anything suspicious and we could call it a day. Pretty simple stuff. But things are much more complicated now. We somehow let suspicious cargo pass through the port undetected. Not even our guard poodles were able to sniff it out. Even worse, we still don't know how the perpetrator was able to conceal the goods so well.
By suspicious cargo, do you mean imitation synth?
Yep. However, prohibited substances are just one example. We confiscate all sorts of contraband during the course of our inspections.
Like Fortnite
Or
balls.
At least, we're supposed to.
So what
Sorry.
happens to the goods you confiscate?
Oh, we keep them in a storage locker. If they turn out to be something particularly dubious, we'll turn them over to the Maison Orderly. If the goods are only slightly suspicious but could otherwise be harmless, like raw materials that could potentially be used to create contraband, we return them to the ship they were confiscated from, instead of letting them pass through the port.
Sorry for the wait. These are the travel logs for all the recent activity at the port.
Alright. Oh, dog. Wait, someone scares a cat?
Oh, you brought Gerard with you.
Actually, he followed me here himself. It's like he smells something on me.
Oh. I think he's detecting something. Probably from Bonnie. Hey, don't smell me, you ugly creature.
Huh. I wonder why Gerard is reacting to you two so
Okay, also
strongly.
that. Could be because we just left the place where the limitation scene was made. Whatever Gerard smell on your release came from us.
Huh?
Yeah.
We were so careful not to touch it, but we still ended up with traces on us. If it leaves a residue so easily, I just don't understand how the culprit was able to disguise the goods at all.
Why don't you have a look at the travel logs first? All ships coming in and out of the port are recorded here, except for the ones the port authorities ride to and from work.
Okay, you flew through the numerous travel logs and you notice instances of the Humane Society is listed. Oh, wait, what? Name really seems to stand out.
The Humane Society.
We've encountered the organization before, right?
The name is all over the exit logs. The purpose for leaving is always listed as overseas adoption.
I
The
don't
director of
know,
the
well,
organization explained
that's
that.
kinda sus to
He
me.
said a lot of the cat and dog breeds unique to Fontaine are also very popular overseas. So his organization offers an overseas adoption.
I see, so they're using the pet's excuses to get the seed out of the port. And consider the tight seals and all this stuff. Oh, wow. Okay, that kinda hurt.
Bernard, the director of the Humane Society, was the man who came looking for Bonnie earlier. Have you figured it out too, Traveler? The way the criminal disguised the goods? When Bernard asked to take a closer look at Bonnie, he was actually checking whether there was any imitation synth in her stomach.
Was using the animals at his shelter to smuggle imitation seed. Oh!
Wait, what?
The sealed bags we found at the secret base. They were
Let me eat.
specially made to be corrosion resistant.
So they wouldn't be
There
digested.
were gaps around the lids of the barrels, and airbags were used to keep them upright in the water.
So the animals won't be able to breathe.
Those drug shovers found at the secret base. She most likely didn't recognize them because they're not used on human beings. It's an anesthetic used on pets. The perpetrator must have given it to the animals.
So they will keep still in floating barrels.
Must have made the animals swallow the sealed bags full of imitation synth at his secret base. Then he stuffed them into floating barrels and left the rest to Bernard.
The sealed bags combined with an animal's body odor would certainly be enough to mask the scent of imitation scent.
Oh, yeah.
During our inspections, we would have never thought to inspect the bellies of those animals for anything suspicious. Even if we tried to feel around for something, I'm sure it would be difficult to detect.
Exactly. I bet Bernard even transported animals with synth in their stomach alongside ones without. That way, it would be even harder to say with certainty that something was amiss.
You know what? That's a really, really crazy way to transport illegal substance. Do you think Molly could have imitations in her stomach?
She's
Yeah.
probably in the clear. Otherwise, Bernard would have never left without her.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he didn't know whether Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth before he fled. Just imagine. He sees the notice we put in the Steambird, and it turns out that one of the very cats he gave to Pierre for the smuggling operation is out in the open, roaming the streets of Fontaine. If Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth, then Bonnie would practically be living proof of their crimes. He would have had no choice but to go after her.
So, that's why he came to find you and insisted on taking a closer look at the cat.
Peter must have fled in a hurry. The fact that it's probably was what spared Bonnie.
Wait a second, I'm a little lost here. I get the part about hiding the substance in the pets, those, what did you call them again? Floating barrels? Why even put the animals in there in the first place? If you've got something as convenient as a floating barrel, why not just stuff it with the imitation synth directly? Why not wait to hide the stuff until after the exchange has been made?
In order to make sure the animals could swallow the sealed bags, they made them extremely thin. Had they not done that, the animals would have likely bitten or chewed through them.
And if any of the invitations seemed to leak out, they also would have to needed a lot of cleaning agents to get rid of the resulting smell.
That step would have required a lot of energy, as well as a certain amount of technical expertise. So it was better left to the more experienced Pierre. We've already proven how easy it is to pick up trace amounts of imitation synth, so I'm sure Bernard was taking all the precautions he could to avoid the same fate.
Good boy, Gerard.
Okay, then let's head to the Humane Society right away and bring that guy to justice. I'll bring a Gardamek to speed up the process.
Sorry, but I can't go with you. Surely you'll be able to handle him, between Elodie's Gardamek and all three of you?
It's not like he's a superhuman, right? I mean, now I have to wait till this team finishes because it's just I love this team. It's just so good. It's a shame this team is only logged in this port, but it's just so good. Both versions of this area, it's so good. The red sun lighting, bathing the Shogun herself. Yeah, guys, I love Rai Shogun, okay?
The headquarters of the Humane Society should be somewhere around here. Bernard could show up any moment now.
Here are the people from
Oh, hey.
there. Wait, you're from the guards?
They got you.
After him!
Oh, wait, what? Hey! Lynette! He used to think that Lilan likes to use. In good corners. Like a speedrunner, yeah!
Bernard!
Hey, he said, oof!
Mercy, have mercy. I'll tell you everything I know.
The Humane Society has done so much good over the years, and yet you have committed such an atrocious deed in its name.
Look, I didn't have a choice, okay? My father cared about those blasted animals so much, he didn't bother to take care of his human wife and son at all. While those animals were showered with love, I lived worse than a dog.
No one asked. Tell me.
When a villain has to reveal his past, when the villain is revealing his past, no one asked. Elodie's based. We all love Elodie here in this house.
Well, after I took over the Humane Society, it gradually became harder and harder to maintain its operations. Until one day, someone suddenly passed me a letter. It said that I could stand to get a large sum of money as long as I helped them to transport some animals abroad. It was only after a few such transports that I finally understood what I was really transporting. But then, Pierre wrote to me, saying that we were already partners in crime and that I better keep cooperating with him if I didn't want to be reported to the guards.
Seems a little bit unnatural. There's a hint of dishonesty in his trembling voice. He's lying!
You knew it from the very beginning, didn't you? the reason why you had to go through so many steps just to transport some animals.
I'd suggest that you confess everything right now if you don't want to add anything else to your list of crimes.
Yes, officer. I would order wooden barrels and flotation devices according to his instructions, and then load the sleeping animals onto a boat. Once I sailed to the location he provided, I would dump everything together into the sea. And a few days after that, I'd come by again in my boat and pick up the animals sleeping in the barrels. Once I had received enough of them, I'd bring them to the harbor to be adopted abroad. That guy, Pierre, he was running the entire show. He set up all the meeting times and found all the foreign adopters. And he even supplied all of the goods too. I just did the transport. He was the one who planned out and executed everything else.
So, where is he now?
Look, I don't know, okay? I've never ever met him in person. We've only ever communicated through letters.
And when did he send his final letter to you?
Just last night, he said that the Marechaussee Phantom is now after him, so he's planning to go into hiding for some time. He didn't mention where he's thinking about going, though, but he did tell me to look out for the guards.
It's been a few days since Pierre's last appearance. I'd wager that he sent that letter after he found his hiding spot.
So where is that letter now?
I burned them. It was on his orders. I had to burn every letter after reading them. I wasn't even allowed to share them with the rest of the society employees.
Sure sounds like you're trying to use the lack of witnesses or evidence to pin the blame on Pierre.
No, I swear, this time I'm only telling you the truth.
Well, we can check the truth of your statements at the Opera House.
Hey!
I'll be coming for you if I were to find any discrepancy between the evidence and the testimony you just gave.
It's time for the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal. No, wait, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal no longer work. It's only my judgment, not the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal no longer work.
I know, I swear I was just telling the truth.
My thanks to you both. Had it not been for you, I really don't know what would have happened to this case.
Bonnie helped too.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's all thanks to
that's
you,
right.
Bernard
Do
was
not
finally exposed.
give credit to the little cat. And I'm talking seriously. Yes, I'm in your side. Ay, bonito gatito. One suddenly runs and hides behind you and Lynette.
And it looks like she's grown quite fond of you two
I mean,
as well.
to be fair, the how you
Then I'll leave you be.
talk.
Just let me know if you find any other new leads.
Lynette.
Now behave, and follow me to the interrogation room.
Ow, that hurt. Ow!
Really? We have to use the photometer? They're about to leave. Is this really okay to let them go? What is this? I thought I think this system is in Baldur's Gate. Maybe this is something I know. But I know Baldur's Gate is also based on Dungeons and Dragons, but I've never seen anything about that game. So I just see gameplays of Baldur's Gate. Like some actions are like some actions. It pretty much depends on how much you get and other stats and some of this stuff. But generally, you just roll the dice. If you get the kind of number, you can do a certain action. I just grab this one. Let's check fail. You can leave the ratio to the guards. Let's first rescue the animals of the Humane
Is
Society.
everything really over?
Nah.
I still feel like the relationship between Pierre and Bernard is not as simple as it appears. Also, I've had this strange sense that something's off the entire time we've been on the case. And it has only gotten worse. No good.
You dead?
I've got nothing, and I'm nearly out of energy.
Lily, that was... You lose energy really fast! Don't force yourself, just little in the others.
Alright, I'll stop thinking about it, for now. At the very least, we've made it so that no more animals will suffer like those poor animals did. And that's what I hope.
Yeah, Bonnie agrees. What happened to Bonnie?
Let's go to the Humane Society, and see if there are any animals left that might still need our help.
Where is it?
Before my energy for today completely runs out.
Yeah, you just run out really quickly. Oh, okay. We just finished. The truth remains submerged into dark undercurrents, yet there really lies beyond the cage. Hey, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna consider one is because of the dice. Okay, let me see. If I have to Lynette, what happens?
Hmm.
Something on your mind still?
It was that obvious, huh? Well, even though it didn't feel like Bernard was lying, after talking to him, I'm getting an even stronger sense that something's not quite right. We investigated so quickly that perhaps we've missed a thing or two along the way. Let me activate deduction mode and consider things again from the top to see if we can find anything new. Is there still anything unresolved or strange that we should try to consider?
Please don't throw me. Thank you. What about what we found in Passon? Oh yeah, the pendant.
Marechaussee Phantom found Bonnie and the Lefebvre pendant at Pierre's residence. That was the beginning point of our investigation.
Oh, this video game. You won't talk.
Why would he leave such an obvious trail for us to follow when he took so much care to not leave any traces of imitation synth in his home? Claims to have received a letter last night from Pierre. In the letter, Pierre stated that he had gone into hiding. Is there something wrong with the letter? If Bonnie had imitation synth in her body, then she was a liability that had to be recovered at all costs. But if she wasn't carrying anything, then it would have made sense to tell Bernard not to worry. And thinking about it, Bernard only attracted our attention in the first place because he came to look for Bonnie. Could it be that the person who wrote the letter also knew nothing about Bonnie's whereabouts? Or they had a separate goal entirely. We've discovered that Bernard is responsible for the trafficking, while Pierre deals with supplying the goods. Is there something else in this scheme that we're missing? According to Bernard, Pierre also supplied all of the goods. But if the Marechaussee Phantom's records are correct, Pierre should have lost all access to the materials required to create the imitation synth. And the Institute has also not reported any theft of their stocks. The final question is, why did I sense that something wasn't right after hearing Bernard's testimony? Even more so than before.
First statement. Both written letters and handles using prototypes are methods of communication that can be intercepted. Pierre made such a complicated operations plan, yet also proceeded so easily to the investigation guards. The accomplice that wasn't Bernard has never met Pierre in person. Does Pierre have multiple personality? What? Well, like a plan and explode were set up to two separate individuals and Pierre was set up. What? What? There's still a third person out there. Even Bernard himself never knew it was a Pierre even pulling the strings all along. It was someone else. No. I want the up. This one. Sorry.
Deductive mode deactivated. I think we may be close to the actual answer.
Okay. Well. So the 20 dice that will reduce to, I don't know, 1? Okay, this is just Baldur's Gate. This includes suspicious 555, so we have 4%. Wait, 20 points. Okay, so this is, that was why big then. Oh, we can let her get away. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. I'm North Star and ready to stop those criminals here in the Wild East.
Is there something else you need from me, Traveler?
That's it, I'm North Star. Bernard and Pierre, they weren't really acting alone, were they? Oh?
I see. It all makes sense now.
Hey, what are you talking about? Look, even our confessed criminal here has no idea what you're saying.
I think he just got surprised.
Because he has been kept in the dark all along. And I assume it's the same with Pierre.
Bernard, so he communicated with Pierre, and Pierre thought he was taking orders from Bernard. But all this time, neither of them knew. There was a third person all along.
That never quite added up for me. Why did Pierre feel compelled to return to his home with Bonnie and the pendant, and make them so easy to find for the Marechaussee Phantom?
Any animals Pierre received from the floating barrel should have been taken directly to his base. And considering his precarious situation, the pendant should have been the last thing Pierre would have lying
All
around.
of these things are in stark contrast to his usual meticulous and vigilant behavior. There's only one reasonable explanation. He was following orders, just like Bernard. He probably received the following instructions right before the Phantom came knocking on his door. Bring the cat and the pendant, and our undercover agent will be sure to help you. Unbeknownst to him, however, the third person who wrote that letter to him had long decided to sacrifice him and Bernard to save themselves.
They instructed two men to communicate through the letters and barrels specifically so they never get to meet each other. Honestly, this third person probably planned to sell both of them out from the very beginning.
You can't be serious. There was a third person involved?
If you focus only on Bernard's testimony, it's easy to believe that only Bernard and Pierre were working together. The case appeared extremely simple. Bernard did the trafficking, Pierre the imitation synth production, drugging, and stuffing.
With everything accounted for, the third person will never be clear. Will then be clear of all suspicious.
Wait. But that doesn't make any sense. If that's the actual truth, then as soon as Pierre is caught, he'll explain his side of the story and the third person will...
Yep, which is why the third person made sure that Pierre would never be found again. Once they had instructed Pierre to expose himself, the third person wrote to Pierre again, suggesting that everything had been taken care of, and he should take Bonnie and safely return to his base.
They then ambushed Pierre and made him disappear.
Of course, Pierre's disappearance at such a sensitive time immediately made him a prime suspect. Knowing that Bonnie had last been seen with him, all the third person would have to do from that point on would be to lead the Phantom to investigate the Humane Society and get Bernard to confess the truth.
Bernard will then testify that Pierre was the one who came up with the whole plot, and Pierre will have be seen as having gone into hiding in anticipation of getting caught.
So you're saying that the letter I received yesterday, the one that made me think Pierre was still alive, it was also sent by the third person?
Is that what happened? I'll get back to headquarters right away and reinvestigate this case from the top.
Not so
That being said,
fast.
Assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case.
Hey,
Someone among us, however, has been feeding us all kinds of preconceived notions ever since our first meeting. That Pierre's disappearance was an attempt to escape the judgment of the law, and that Pierre was a scion of the Lefebvre family. But if the disappearance is truly just a cover-up for
what?
murder, then couldn't the true scion have been an illegitimate daughter rather than an illegitimate son?
What? When I figured it not so fast, I was like, okay, but why not so fast? Could be just like, wait a moment, wait, there's something more you need to know, but no, not so fast. Like, there's something kind of like there's something sus to them. So you were like, Elodie, also, just to talk randomly appears like, wait, Elodie? Like, I did not see that. I did not see that coming. Elodie Lefebvre?
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Taking this joke a bit too far. You're right. I did let a lot of assumptions get to my head when I first started to talk to you about the case. I'll make sure to correct my behavior.
You deliberately fed us lies, but even you could not control every last detail of your plan. There was a flaw in your scheme, and something didn't quite go as planned. Getting the Marechaussee Phantom to notice Pierre was only the first part of your plan. Had they failed to take notice of the Humane Society, they could have cast a wider net. And you couldn't predict what they might possibly find, if given enough time. This, of course, was the main weakness of your plan.
And once the special patrol Eleni got involved, it became even hard to control the outcome of the investigation.
Someone accustomed to acting from behind the scenes, you didn't want to take the risk of personally proposing a raid on the Humane Society. So, you thought about pulling a few more strings, so all the suspicion would point towards Bernard and his society.
A great option, of course, would be to get also dispose of Bonnie and leave her body at the Pierce base in anticipation of a later discovery.
Once the Phantom expanded their search, it would only be a matter of time before they found Pierre's base. If a cat last seen with the suspect turned up dead at the imitation synth base, it wouldn't be long until the Phantom would figure out exactly how she had been mistreated and turn their eyes towards the one organization that has been sending boatloads of animals out of Fontaine.
However, something unexpected happened at the base. Bonnie managed to escape into chaos.
During your ambush of Pierre, you didn't even have the time to check if she had already been stuffed full of imitation synth.
Yeah, Come on. No, hey, if you want to get out your pass or anything like that, I'm gonna say no one asked, huh?
Still, you soon found
Like you
another
did.
opportunity. Before long, Bonnie had made her way back into the city and even popped up on the Steambird. Like Bernard, you desperately wanted to confirm the contents of her stomach, so you hurried to find us. Unlike Bernard, however, you were hoping that Pierre did have the time to make her swallow a load of imitation synth. While investigating the suspect's cat, we
I like this.
discovered that the suspect has been smuggling imitation synth using living animals as intermediaries. That was your plan, in any case. With that, you'd have been able to lead the investigation towards the Humane Society.
I like that transition. That was cool. That has to be probably my favorite transition of this game. They've been playing a lot with transitions in Sumeru. I love it. But Bonnie was very lucky.
Bonnie had managed to escape before Pierre was able to stuff her full of imitation synth. That part of your plan could no longer be carried out. But as shrewd as you were, you came up with another plan right away. You manipulated the Traveler and I to help you identify Bernard as a key suspect.
You knew Lini must investigate the case with Sheriff, and you also knew of Lynette's previous encounters with the Lefebvre family.
You used the Lefebvre name as bait to get us to join your investigation. With 2 extra bodies around, the Special Patrol is sure to soon take note of the strange event of Bernard somehow having a reason to look for Pierre's cat.
So, what you're saying is, I went to all that trouble just for the chance that you might put forth the suggestion that would lead you down the wrong path.
Of course, you did far more than that. Just now at Lumidu's harbor, were you not the person who highlighted the suspicious activities of the society?
By showing us the port's travels log.
You even highlighted the society's activities during your compilation of the logs, so they'd be immediately visible to anyone.
You son of a bitch.
Moreover, the logs contained no records of the Port Authority's activities. In other words, your activities.
I just remember a meme. Sorry.
And what are you trying to suggest with that?
I am insinuating that you had plenty of opportunities to transfer the raw materials for imitation synth from the harbor to a boat, and then sail over to the meeting place full of floating barrels.
Once Bernard had placed the animals in the barrels, he'd open the lids and also dump in the raw materials. And as long as you did it before, Pierre came for his pickup, there being no one wiser.
Nor the manufacturer knew there was a third person who supplied the raw materials and surreptitiously operated between them.
First, you got in touch with what Paris and secure the raw materials. Then, you instruct Bernard to prepare the flooring barrels and the animals. After that, you slip the raw materials into the barrels next to the animals, and request the Pierre pick up the barrels and bring them back to his base.
Manufactured imitation synth using the raw materials you provided, stuffed the animals, and placed the animals back into the barrels. Having received the green light from you as Pierre, Bernard then retrieved his animals and shipped them out of Fontaine once he had received enough for a full batch. This is the truth behind your smuggling ring.
I can't believe it. I never put 2 and 2 together.
You've sure got an extremely lively imagination.
Okay, for the stuff acting like you You're still confident in the evil way.
So what do you think she's going to say next?
Ever thought about career in writing criminal novels? Have you ever have any
But do
evidence?
you have any evidence?
I play Joseph with Joestar.
It appears that it's quite easy to predict what you'll think or say. Then, if we apply that to this case, we can also think of a few places to look for incriminating evidence.
I love that.
You know very well that this case
That was
will
cute.
not end until Pierre is found. So you will have him commit suicide out of fear and shame to
Oh
end
my,
the investigation
oh my
for good.
god! Wait, Genshin Impact using commit suicide? Hoyover's using commit suicide? Oh my god! Anyways,
That way, you can also pin the blame for the overseas smuggling activities, the theft of the harbor's confiscated raw materials, and even the Lefebvre name on him. After all, dead men tell no tales.
oh, I like that word.
To Bernard. You
Oof,
have to make sure
sentence. I don't know. I forgot how you say it in English.
Has confessed to the authorities.
Oh, but I like that. Oh, what a nice phrase.
To do that, you either will hide his body until you found an appropriate time to set up a fake suicide scene, or you'll dump it someplace where it'll be hard to determine the exact time of death. Submerged in water, for instance. The location would
Oh,
ideally allow you to keep the body hidden for some time while also letting you keep an eye on it.
you could also keep him in a very cool environment to be handled later. An example of such a place might be somewhere in your own boat, or set on fire to make it look like he had burned himself to a crisp, or under the waters of near Luminous
There are
Harbor.
only so many options to hide a person's time of death, after all. As long as the Phantom investigates each of the possibilities in turn, they'll surely find Pierre's remains. Especially since, as the prime suspect who will now be taken into custody, you will no longer have the time to move him, or set up a fake suicide scene to cover up the murder.
How absurd. And on what grounds?
Don't
do you
point me
order
that
an
finger.
arrest? Don't think for a second that your spouts of nonsense will amount to any kind of real argument. After all, I'm...
Chevres!
Melody Lefebvre,
I knew she would appear.
as the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, I hereby declare you as a suspect in the case. If you have any objections, you may raise them later during interrogation.
Chevres, Lily, you're here
That's right.
too.
We received a message from Lumiduce Harbor that you were going to investigate the Humane Society. We didn't expect to run into you at such a critical moment.
While at the harbor, we noticed something else extremely interesting. Apparently, you often used all kinds of excuses to swap your shifts.
Ooh.
Times of your shifts to the activities of the Humane Society and those of certain foreign ships, they'd find them to be an exact match.
That's just a coincidence.
That's just a coincidence.
Yes, I'm sure you have already thought of a dozen different ways to explain away the suspicious activities, but as far as evidence goes, that should be enough to warrant taking you into custody.
Don't worry. If it turns out that the guards are still unable to find any evidence after all this, Lynette and I will do everything in our power to clear your name.
Although judging by her reaction, I assume no follow-up from us will be needed.
The Lefebvres were
Game
infamous for
over.
using disguise and infiltration to achieve their goals. Who would have thought that they would have planted someone within the guards?
Judging from the timeline, they likely arranged for you to enter the guards before the fall of the clan. But they probably didn't expect you to turn it to your advantage and use your job to save yourself during the purge.
It's kind of funny. I don't know why I noticed this until now, but I knew that Lynette has a star in her cheek, but my PNG tuber have been a star. But not only one, but two stars. One on each cheek. Like, oh, we have something in common. We.
Not only that, but you actively participated in the interrogation, arrest, and judgment of the Lefebvres during their fall, thus clearing yourself of suspicion.
Damn.
You brutally and cruelly abandoned your allies as soon as they outlived their usefulness, just like a lizard cutting off its own tail in order to live. You've been doing this for years.
Damn.
So you played me like a fool after
Oh.
all?
When I suddenly look up by a sudden strike. By the Elodie? Yes.
What was that word you used? Ally? You think that someone as foolish as him is worthy to call himself my ally? They were worthless scum, all of them. Not just Bernard and Pierre, but those Lefebvres too. They always just saw me as a tool. I lost all my chances of a normal life just because I was born into their lot. Not only that, but because they wanted me to become an undercover agent, they stripped me of my name, too.
Well, Lottie, I have something to respond to that. No one asked! Huh? The same thing that you said to Bernard? Ha! Now what are you going to do? Cry on the floor?
I had to live in constant fear the more they were
Oh, what is
gone.
wrong with you?
And even once they were gone, I had to continue to bury my heritage and my name. Always worrying that their enemies would come knocking at the door. Do you know anything about what I've been through over all these years? My life as the last Lefebvre?
I don't, and neither do I care.
Yeah, that's what I do here. Let's go, Lynette. Let's go. You used to. Yes, I don't know. Really, I think she said, no, who cares or something like that. Well, no one asked, so it's applicable. Yeah, I can. I can't even say it. No one asked about your past.
Are you for real? Aren't you a Lefebvre victim too?
Yeah,
You're the only one still living under the shadow of a name.
That's enough. Keep your hands where I can see them and do not resist arrest. If you have more to say, save it for the interrogation room.
What a joke.
what a sick joke.
Hey!
What? She's able to say don't come any closer.
Don't come any closer.
What's that?
A bomb? The device is a bit odd. The small device that they took appears to be very crude, as if it was made from paper mache. So
This is...
it's fake?
I've secretly planted loads of explosives in the Humane
I
Society.
think it looks very DIY.
One step closer and...
Or kind of like you just grab a bunch of cardboard and paper and tape. I didn't realize that. Kind of like a cardboard sword from the middle scene.
Whether they're cats, dogs, or just unlucky human employees. They'll all be blown up into smithereens. Surely, you bunch of goody two-shoes won't let that happen, right?
Oh. Joder. Oh, okay. Deception, assist Lily in deceiving Elodie, persuasion, trying to convince Elodie to surrender, stealth, launch a sneak attack on Elodie while she's distracted, intimidation, help Sheriff to intimidate Elodie. Okay. So there's two options I can use, Lini and Chevres, but also there's two for myself. Do alone. I don't know, Chevres, just shoot her hand, I don't know, something, I don't know. I'll try this, Chevres. 6 compression, oh shit. I need at least a 9. A high number, but still. Oof. Why they have to include the why they have to include that mechanic for Baldur's Gate? Probably it's not really from Baldur's Gate. Like probably not invented it, but it's the only game that I knew it uses. Come on, give me yes.
Do you know what would happen to you if you were to run away now? The entire Special Patrol would be out hunting for you day and night, to the ends of the world.
And all the Fontaine will know that the spawn of a Lefebvre is still among us.
Word of that gets out, all the factions in Fontaine would be after you. But if you throw away the device now, I'll still count that as turning yourself in to the guards. Would you rather go back with me now and wait for a trial? Or wait for your enemies to find you and subject you to the same interrogation techniques that your relatives were once infamous for?
No, I can't.
A la bestia. Who? What? It is resolving is to be okay. Sure. Thank you for allowing me to read it. Wait, it was Bonnie? Bonnie, it was you?
Phew. So I was right after all. It's easier to deal with the person causing the problem than the problem itself.
Yeah, he said it. Okay, it doesn't clarify, but I'm pretty sure it was Bonnie who saved us. So shout out to Bonnie to be the best cat in the entire game. And what about the device she had?
This is it. Looks like it's just a toy.
I knew it. I knew it. So she was really just
Guess
bluffing.
that's probably why she suddenly flipped and knocked out Bernard. He probably knew that there were no explosives at the society.
Yeah, she pretend like she had a villainous breakdown.
Well, given that she never even showed her face to Bernard and Pierre, I had my doubts that she'd have gone to the society in person to plant explosives.
That's also that thing, yeah. You're right.
Thank you for your help, everyone. I'll take them back for thorough questioning and find someone better to take over the Humane Society. I might need a few statements from everybody. Would you be able to come with me?
If statements are all you need, can Lenny provide them on my behalf? I still need to go back and explain some things to the crew.
Yeah, can you do the same lady for me?
And with the Traveler,
Just kidding.
before we got interrupted.
Oh yeah. What did she say again? What? Oh, it seems I already forgot. You mean when you said I could stop by your place?
Ah, so you do remember. Yes, I invited you to come over to our place.
Yeah, the coffee,
Once
the
I'm
tea.
done talking with the troop, I'll make a nice cup of tea and bring Bonnie to wait for you outside of my door.
That will be the little pet? That'll be cute. I like when the quests have an... See, their bodies just... Why is it so funny? God, I wish we could use crouch in this game.
You must have spent a record-breaking amount of time in serious mode today. I can't remember the last time I've seen you like this. Is it because of a special someone?
Huh? Wait. I thought it was you that you like the Traveler, not Lynette. Wait. Who's next? Fremine? I think you reached very late to that conclusion. God damn it! There were still a few things I'm curious about. How did the peer get recruited into this game?
Based on information that we found before, imitation synth was first circulated on a small scale in Fontaine before becoming a large-scale smuggling scheme. I'd assume that the first offerings of imitation synth came from what Pierre made in his early days. But since he was not experienced with running a clandestine operation, he was soon discovered by guard Elodie. Elodie saw the opportunity to make a great profit in his work, and perhaps even the chance of making a new life for herself, so she decided to cover his tracks.
Huh, makes sense.
Started writing to him in Bernard's name, using what evidence she had compiled and the promise of enormous profits to blackmail him into cooperating with her. Unfortunately for her, she ran into Lynette. Even though my sister doesn't like to focus too much on a regular day, serious mode Lynette is one of the most perceptive people I've ever known.
Yeah.
Still, all of that thinking really saps her energy. I need to go give some statements on her behalf, so I'll leave the recharging to you.
Sheriff, what do you have to say?
You can leave the rest of this to me. The other guards will be joining me shortly. Don't worry, they won't have another chance to escape.
There are still a few things I'm curious about. How did Elodie get her hands on the raw materials?
The materials have many other regular uses outside of being used to make imitation synth, so they're not immediately subject to being confiscated or destroyed. The harbor would usually just seize them for some time while the customs paperwork is filled out and approved. If approved, they'd be let through, and if not, they'd be returned to sender. Elodie probably used her position to replace a portion of the shipment with something else, before sending the whole shipment back to sender. Given that the foreign merchants who sent in the shipments were probably working with her in the first place, they likely just never reported the difference in what they sent and what they received. We will, of course, continue to investigate the rest of the details of this case. Now that we've caught Elodie, figuring out the whole scheme should just be a matter of time.
Black tea and a cute kitty. Truly the best combo for standby mode.
Black tea and a cute kitty. Yeah, I pretty much feel the same every time my cat wants to sleep with me, or he just... I just... here with food and a drink, and wanted to watch something, like free reign. But my cat is not here right now, so... Not best combo for today.
Want some?
A cute kitty, please? I was talking about Lynette. Imagine.
I see she's already starting to snuggle up to you.
Are you interested in any follow-up developments for
Not
Pet?
at all. Information is indeed very important, but if you were to try to collect every piece of information you come across, your efficiency would actually decrease. If you just think about it, what sounds more fun? Writing a statement or enjoying a tea party?
The cute
Great
kitty.
answer. That'd be my pick too. Had we not run into that case, we could have spent the entire day like this. But now, I'm running low on both time and energy.
The key is in how long you spend in Standard Boy. With quality time, you should be able to recharge more quickly.
You're right. I can sense it. I'm recharging very quickly at the moment.
I just have a question though. When did you start suspect Elodie? Actually, yeah, I wonder too.
Rubbed me the wrong way since the very
I
beginning.
knew there was something wrong,
To be
but
more precise,
how did you it could lead to Elodie?
probably around the time when I saw Bonnie try to get away from her.
Are you after you arrested Bernard? Back then, Elodie tried to get close to Bonnie?
Elodie tried to get close, but Bonnie deliberately dodged her. Maybe Bonnie had tried to evade her before at Pierre's base. Or perhaps Bonnie just instinctively knew that she wasn't a good person. Not everyone who likes cats is a good person. But if cats like you, you're probably alright.
Fair enough.
Humans tend to overthink things, but cats rely on their instincts, and they're pretty sharp. I mean, just look at Bonnie. She took a liking to you the moment you met.
Quietito. Yeah, tú. Join the Kirito. Adventurers, investigators, El Cat. Your story has come to an end for now.